Not by might, nor by power, but by my spirit, say the Lord of hosts. Not by might, nor by power, but by my spirit, say the Lord of hosts. I'm Elijah, and that's the program that you're listening to. Of course, you know the books, banned from the Bible, 3 books in one. Enoch, Jubilee, and Hashir. Last should be first. We Hashir first. From the time we left the garden to win the promised land the first time. Jubilee is the apocrypha. It's called Moses' little apocrypha. From the time we left the garden until this day, the prophecy, everything that was going to happen to us until from the time we left the garden until this day. Then of course Enoch, the things that was going to happen to us from generation to generation. So that's the vein from the Bible. The apocrypha, this is a King James version, tells you everything. They got a prophecy, testimonies, judgments, knowledge, wisdom, and understanding is in that book. So that's the book that you have. Then you have this book that we're into now. Let me see how that would go. There you go. The Testament of Solomon. The Testament of Solomon. That's that book. And that's, you got to know your demons. That's your demons. You got to know them. What they do, what their business is, and how they do it. Of course, 12 patriarchs. That's what I'm here for. To turn the horse back to the children, turn the children's horse back to the father, unless God comes right with the curse. And that's found in Malachi chapter 4. The whole thing is from verse 4, 5, and 6, so you can read that. Then we have those comes together to be the Holy Bible. So the Holy Bible came from somewhere. So now you know how those books come together and form the Holy Bible. Now, the message, not by might nor by power, but by my spirit, say the Lord. So you can have, you don't have to have those books, you know, but you can go to the Holy Bible, find out them scriptures, and do those scriptures, and it will lead you to the road of salvation. Salvation not for some, salvation is for all. All those have said. Now you say, well, how you can see that? How you can see that? The reason why I can see that because Lord God said He has scattered the 12 tribes to all nations, kindreds, and tongues. So we are in everybody's in us. And we are in throughout all the 4 corners of earth. And we are into every people are into us. So that's the word of God. So if you listen to my other videos, I have shown you where to find out. But right now, we're getting back to the demons. So you got to know, like I said, you got to know the demons. And the Lord God, I was going to tell you about the Obama dream that I had with the dream, with the demons. But of course, I have going to tell you the 2 dreams. Even if I don't tell you 2 of them now, I'm still going to let you know about the dreams I had with demons. Man, I've been dealing with them demons a long time. Oh yeah, a long time. You can be dealing with them demons, don't even know. So when you have those, they call them wet dreams. Those gonna be wet. They'll be real dreams that the demons that came and took advantage of you. Just like I just told you what Onoculus and Amodus and Onias. So go get the book. It's called The Testimony of Solomon. And they have the dream because those people in Hollywood, like I said, and you listen to that, like I said, those people in Hollywood are doing these ceremonies, and they're still working the same demon. This come all the way back from the charities, come all the way back from the Babylonians, farther back before it was known as Babylonian. It comes from way back there when Nimrod was in charge, and that's where it started. It really originated way before Nimrod. But on the other side of the flood, Nimrod took it up. But before the flood, they were just pure demons. And of course, if went to the videos by now, you should know. Let's tell 2 videos and they should know. Okay, now let's go to back we had stopped at Beelzebub. I think we stopped at Beelzebub. And Beelzebub said, I saw him saying, Beelzebub, what is thy employment? And he asked me, I destroy kings. I ally myself with foreign tyrants, and my own demons are set on to men, in order that later may believe in them and be lost. So I'm looking at, so I watched Wendy Williams. And the reason why I watched Wendy Williams, so you want to know next who was in line, next who doing a sacrifice or doing something, just watch Wendy Williams and you'll see. You will see. Okay. And the chosen service of God, priests and faithful men, I cite unto desires for wicked sins and evil heresies. Now, like I told you over and over again, I told you I went in these church houses. That's why the Lord God said, come out of these church houses. Right there you see how the demons then took over the church house, how the demons then took over the priests and the faithful men. It says it right there. That's page 22. It said that. And those people that say the Jews not, they are worshiping these demons. They are worshiping the demons. I've been over there. And when you go over there, I want to tell you, eventually I want to tell you where they get them hats they wear for. That's not Jews who wear those hats. No, those not Jews. Those say they are Jews, but are not wear those type of hats. So they didn't spread it out. And then when you go to the book, I have read that to you in the 12 Patriarchs when Levi tells you that the end of the age where it's, that the Levites and those who say they are Jews going to get together and work a great sin in all Israel. So that's the time you're living in now. That's prophecy. You can't change prophecy. Why? Because the Lord God said it. If the Lord God said what? God cannot lie. If He says it's going to happen, it's going to happen. So that's the Lord God saying and doing that. Okay. So after we go to that. After we go there, it say heresy and lawless deeds that they obey me, and I bear them on to destruction. That would say, and I bear them on to destruction, and I inspire men with envy and desire for murder, and for wars and sodomy and other evil things. That's what he said. And I will destroy the world. That's Beelzebub talking about that. Now, that last movie with Thor and Ragnarok, where he destroyed Asgard, Well, that's what he's talking about. And I told you these people in Hollywood, the tumultuous Jews, they're doing that now. When you go in Jerusalem and you go to, I guess the train station or the bus station, the transportation station, I forgot what they call it. But they have all the buses going to different places, and you go catch that bus, and the bus take you out to wherever you're going at in Israel. And so you catch that bus. But in the bus station, and you walking through their neighborhoods, you know when you walk through the neighborhood. As soon as you come to Jerusalem, you go right through. You gotta pass through the Levi's neighborhood. Those Jews, Orthodox Jews, the hats on and the curls down. But when you walk, they have armband. They have something tied around their arm with a little box, or it's tied around their head with a little box. We're going to get to that. But that's nothing but putting the demon's name on it for stop a headache, or put the demon name on it to stop pain. So that's what that is. Well, we're going to get to it. So we got Red Beelzebub said that he's going to. So when you watch the man with the horn, that's Beelzebub. I want to tell you more about that. So I said to him, bring to me thy child who is as thou said in the Red Sea. But he said to me, I will not bring him to thee. But there should come to me another demon called Icarus. Him will I bind and will bring him up from the dead unto me. And I said to him, how comes thy son be in the depth of the sea? And what is his name? He answered me, ask him not, for thou canst not learn from me. However, he will come to thee by my command and will tell you the opening. So that's talking to King Solomon. I said, he'll tell me by what angel thou art frustrated. And he answered, by the holy and precious name of the Almighty God, called by the Hebrews by roll numbers, in which the sum is 644. And among the Greeks, it is Emmanuel. So when I watch the children of Israel, I forgot his name. I got to go look it up. Hear his name. Say his name when it first comes. But on him, when he goes into those numbers, that's what he's talking about right there. So that's Jesus' number 644. I have a number too. He gave me a number also. My number is, I'll tell you my number, 665. That's the number that I had, 665. Right? Now you figure that one out. So that's the number that I had a dream. In the dream, the number was 665. That's the number he gave to me. All right, all right. So and he said that's the number that his forefathers. So when I told you that I was going to get deep and heavier, more heavy and wickeder than the children of real have it, more wicked. And you're a special people. These demons and things can't do you nothing. As you have read, if you have read the 12 patriarchs by now, you see that once you get into righteousness, keep this holy covenant, the Sabbath day, and repent to your whole heart, that these demons can't do nothing, that you have angels with you that are way more stronger than those angels. Okay, now what he said next, you have to tell the number. And if one of the Romans adjure me by a great name, the power, elect, I disappear at once. So that's the other name that's frustrate them. But let's get back to, you said Romans. See the Greeks and the Romans. The man tell you about that. Pastor Darby was telling me about that. Like I told you. They don't want to call his name Jesus, but his name is Jesus. Why? Because his name was changed, and then the Romans named after Romans conquered him. He said that they was going to conquer. And Jesus see the future. Just like these demons, Jesus see the future just like the demons see the future. So they know it. He knew. And that's his name. You want to call him all the other names like before he had died on the cross, which is good. But once he died on the cross, well, he has a new name. Just like me, I had an old name. Then as I start getting closer to Christ Jesus, then my name started changing. And then he give you more than one Jesus. Like Jesus got more than one name. I have more than one name. I'm not gonna tell you to, but so. That's how he operated. Absalom was astonished, which I heard this. You say I stoned, and when I heard this, and I ordered him to saw up Theban marble. So that's the name of the marble, Theban marble. So repeat that. Absalom was astonished when I heard this, and I ordered him to saw up the Theban marbles. And when he began to saw the marble, all the other demons cried out with a loud voice, howling because of their king, Beelzebub. So that's what they start howling. So when they cried out with a loud voice when they saw him, Beelzebub. So that's what he said. We're gonna get a little closer into that. So that's what he said. So when I tell you who Beelzebub is and how he looks, you're gonna do the same thing. When you see him, you're gonna say Beelzebub. You're gonna do the same thing. Watch. This watch. All right. But I saw a question saying, if thou would gain a respect, if thou would gain respite, let's say respite, Sespite, discourse to me about the things in heaven. And Beelzebub said, hear, O king, If thou wilt burn gum and incense in bowls of the sea, with nard and saffron, the light of 7 lamps in the earthquake, thou wilt firmly fix thy house. And being pure, thou light them at dawn in the sunlight, then thou wilt see the heavenly dragons, and how they wind themselves along, dragging the chariot of the sun. Oh yeah, yeah, oh yeah, that's what it said. That's what it says. That's what it is. And I, Solomon, having heard this, rebuked him and said, silence for this present, and continue to saw the marvels as I commanded him. So all them stones and everything you see in those, that was in those temples, just like those stones in Egypt and them other places, them demons did it. The ones that it can't figure out how it was done, the demons did it. That's right. I'm reading it to you. All right, so he continued to saw the marvels as I commanded. And I saw, praise God, and command another demon to be present and be present himself to me. And one came before me who was carrying a face high up in the air, but the rest of the spirit curled about like a snail. And it broke through a few soldiers and raised also a terrible dust on the ground and carried it upwards. And then again hurled it back and to frighten us and asked what question I could ask as a rule. And I stood up and spat on the ground at that spot and sealed the ring of God, and forward the dust wind stopped. So you know the little dust wind. And this one here, this demon was like a snail, carrying his face high up in the air. So you didn't see it before on television, them little cartoons that your children watch and things. Those are demons. Those are demons that they be watching. You just don't even know that your children be watching those demons and grow up. That's what happened to us. That's why nowadays we worship Thor, Captain America, Iron Man, Hulk, Incredible Hulk, Fantastic Four, Hercules, and then all the other mythological people, and thinking that was it wasn't real, but it's real, and they be worshiping those demons. Yep, that's what's be going on. I'm telling you. Okay, so broke through her, frightened question, asked who stood spit on ground and stopped. Forward the dust stopped. I asked him, saying, who art thou, O wind? Then once more shook up the dust and asked me, why? Tell me, what wouldst thou have, King Solomon? And I answered him, tell me what thou art called, and I would fain ask thee a question. But so far I gave thanks to God who has made me wiser to answer their evil plots, because they were steadily plotting on while all this thing was gone. But the demon answered me, I am the spirit of the ashes, Tiporus. And I said to him, what is thy pursuit? And he said, I bring darkness on men and set fields afire. I bring homestays not, but most busy I am in the summer. Most busy episode. So when you see those fires and things in California, we, by us being in the United States, they're not going to tell us all of them. They just show us the ones that are in California. When the fires hit in California, and they say, oh, the lightning struck it, and the lightning struck, and the last one, the electric company made. But that's demons doing that. They tell you, I bring darkness on men and set fields to fire. So that's what he does. So while you thinking all like that, that's demons. Those are demons doing that. I bring homesteads not. You know, see how they burning down, but most buildings are even so. However, when I get an opportunity, I creep into the corners of wall by night and day. For I am an offspring of a great one and nothing less. Accordingly, I say to him, oh, all right, let me stop there. Like I told you, I tell you, I can repeat it. Like that demon was in the bed with me. Oh yeah, that demon was in the bed with her. And that demon was feeling on me and touching me, and I woke up. And when I woke up, man, let me tell you this. And just listen good. Just listen good. See, when you wake up before sunrise and say your prayers, and so while the sun be rising, you say your prayers, and then you say your prayers at sunset, every evening at sunset. You say your prayers in the morning at sunrise, you say your morning prayers at sunset, then you say your prayers at night in the bed or before you go to bed. That's what you're supposed to do. So when you do those things, well, you woke. You woke, so those demons, now you're in the spirit world. That's when you start getting into the spirit world. And those things you see, and God let you see, and God let you hear. Yeah, that's what happened. So that's some of the things you do for his prayer. Now you say, well, man, we can get that from, man. You come up with all this crazy stuff. Okay, go listen to the book of Adam and Eve and see what Adam prayed and Eve prayed. Man, they prayed all night. Because you got to remember, Adam was like a child being birthed. That's why he tell you, that's why we actually say you got to be born again. So Adam was like a little child. And so when Adam first saw the sunset, the sunrise, and felt that heat, he thought it was going to burn it up, especially because he had disobeyed God. That's what he did. So when he saw that sunrise, he would pray, 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 pray. And then when the sun was going down, he was scared of the darkness because why? He never experienced that before. So he thought everything was going to kill him and eat him and destroy him and Eve. So he prayed, 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 and sometimes they would pray all night to the next Friday. These people were no ordinary people, man. These was perfect beings that was becoming unperfect. Go listen to the book of Adam and Eve. And I'm sorry that our father had to go through all that. Oh yes, I really am sorry that he had to go through all that. However, all right, so back to the dream. So when I woke up, she jumped up because she had a body like a woman. She jumped up, boy, and I could see that pretty form. She had a nice, sexy form. Yeah, you can see it form. Let me tell you about demons. The difference between demons. Now you got demons, they'll go on and take on flesh and put on clothes. But when you see a demon in the spirit, that dark silhouette in the spirit, they don't have no clothes on. Demons like that don't have no clothes on. Now those demons that came to me like that, they didn't have no clothes on. All right, so when he jumped up and was going back into the corner of the wall, and then before he can get to the corner of the wall, I said, I see you. I see you. And then he shot into the corner of the wall. All right. For I am an offspring of the great one and nothing less. Accordingly, I said to him, under what star do thou lie? And he answered, in the very tip of the moon's horn, when it is found in the south. The very tip of the moon's horn. So when the moon had that crescent, now you know we worship that crescent. And so when you see, that boy come on fishing on that moon. The boy come up on fishing on that moon. I think it's Steven Spielberg movies. So be looking out for it. When it first come up, they have a boy fishing on the crescent moon. So that's the demon. That's the demon. That's right. Look, be paying attention to it and see it. You see. For I have been bidden to restrain. I have been bidden to restrain the convulsion or the hematuritin fever. Hematuritin fever. And this is why many men pray to the hematuritin, to the him is he. All right, humanitarian. Okay, say humanitarian. I guess that's the running joke. Humanitarian fever. Using these three names: Balta, Baltala, Thalatol, and Melchaol. That's the three names. And I healed them. And I said to him, I am Solomon. When therefore thou wouldest do harm, by whose aid dost thou do it? But he said to me, by the angels by who also the third days of fever is lured to rest. So I questioned him, he said, and by the name, and he answered, of the archangel Azazel. And I summoned the archangel Azazel and set my seal on the demon and commanded him to seize the great stone and toss them up to the work one on the higher parts of the temple. And being compelled, the demons began to do what was bidden them to do. And Azazel, I think that's a fallen angel. Summoned Archangel Azazel to set the seal on the demon and command him to cease. Yeah, I think Azazel is a fallen angel because when you read in the book of Enoch, I know it says that. So then when you look, Denzel made a movie called Fallen, and that's what they had Azazel in there. So you think those things be wrong, but them people know, and them people worship those demons. Don't have to take my word from them, just telling you where to find that. And then when you look at those pictures again, you have a different insight. You look at them different because all of them do the same thing. I look at Netflix, and Netflix have a message in it, and it tells you everything what's going on, who's doing what, where, when, and how, and they do that on television. I told you a dream about not a dream, Lester Summerall the other day, and I started watching this Lester Summerall, but they had this man called Wizardworth, and said when he used to go see Wizardworth, he had a paper in his hand, he was going to say, and the man told him, don't bring that paper in here, don't bring it in here. That's what he told him. Why? Because that's how the demons communicate with one another, through the newspaper. And what's different now, they have the television. They had the radio, they had the newspaper, the radio, and now they have the television. And they have the internet. So that's how they communicate, all the leaders and all over the world who have the demons. That's how they communicate. So you can be a demon on one side of the world and know what's going on the other through your people. That's what this is all about. And I glorified God and refreshed who gave me this authority over another demon to come before me and carried 7 spirits, females bound and woven together, fair in the spirits calmly. And I saw the scene and questioned them and said, who are ye? But they were one accord, said with one voice, we are the 33 elements of the cosmic ruler of the darkness. 33 elements. So now you know where the Mason get the 33, where 33 degrees from. Now you know. Now you know where that comes from. So that's demons that they worship. You got to guess no more. You know, because the Lord God give it to me to give it to you, so you would know. All right. So then it say it came 7 spirits, female bound, moving together. 7 spirits. And so I told you when I went in this church out, that's why Jesus told you, you have 7 spirits into you, most wickeder than the first. 7 spirits. Let's see if we can find that right there. 7 spirits more wicked than the first enter into you. So when I went into those church houses, I was clean. God had surely cleaned me. And then I go in those church houses, and then, man, them people doing all type of wicked things. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. And, man. All right, here we go. Matthew 12, verse 45. Then going out and take himself, well, I guess we can start off before that. All right. The queen, the prophecy. The queen of the south shall rise up in the judgment with this generation and shall condemn it, for she came from the uttermost part of the earth to hear the wisdom of Solomon, and behold, are greater than Solomon's hill. Let's stop right there. Let's stop right there. So the queen of the south, the queen of is Bathsheba. That's what it is, Bathsheba, when she came to see Solomon, and she was a witch. She was a witch, that's right. And when she came to see Solomon, them demons went out looking for her. Don't just think that she heard about his wisdom came. They went searching for her, and they bought her. Well, no, wait a minute, I got it wrong. Forget me, I got it wrong. Not her. But anyway, she came to Solomon from the Ethiopian queen. So she came to Solomon, and that's what he talking about, the queen of the south. And so when she came to Solomon, he had, he had sex with her. Joe did, and that's where you get Haile Selassie. That's where he come from. The rapper who they praising and worshiping as God. That's where he come from. And when the unclean spirit is gone out of man, he walketh through the dry places seeking rest and findeth none. Then he said, I will return into my house from whence I came out, and when he is come, find it empty, swept clean, and garnished. So that's when he came in and he found me. That's how he found me. Oh yeah, and that's how he found you. Because look, you went and prayed with your heart, all your heart, might, soul, body, and mind. The Lord God has cleaned you. Now you clean. You don't have no evil in there, what they call sanctification. Now you sanctified. He didn't clean you up. Cleaned you up real good, got all that out. So next thing what you do, you clean still, serving God and asking God, next thing I did the same thing too. You run to the church house. So now, garnishing, you put on these clothes. You put on these new shoes, new socks, new pants, and shirts, and some people get suits, hats, and you then put on your rings and jewelry. They do it every Sunday. Every Sunday, this is what they do, and they do it on Sabbath too. They don't wear the jewelry, but they put them clothes on the Sabbath, and then they go to the church house. So when that demon coming and find an ample swept and got all that stuff in it, oh man, he ready now. Then he take himself 7 other spirits more wicked than himself, and they enter in and dwell there. And the last state of man is worse than the first. Even so shall it be also unto this wicked generation, unto the wicked generation. So that's the generation now. You see how wicked this. Come on, man. Just told you, from the wicked go for wickedness. And what does that mean? That means they worship these different gods. The gods of stone, the gods of fine raiment, the gods of silver, the gods of gold, the gods of ivory, the gods of brass, the gods of precious stone, the gods of wood, and strange gods of iron fashioned out of man's hand. That's in the book of David. Also, you can find that the 12 gods are in the book of Hashim with Nimrod. So now, I'm just telling you. Then you know the 33 demons. You know about the 33 demons that they have bought. All right. So now, so when you hear about the Mason talk about 33, so you know the 33 cosmic rulers of the darkness. So that's why they have that ruler. You know they have the ruler at the bottom. Oh yes, yeah, you got it. And the first say, I am deception, because you know when you go in there, that's what's about deceiving. The second say, I am strife. The third say, I am kothor, which is battle. The fourth say, I am jealousy. The fifth say, I am power. The sixth, I am error. The seventh, I am worse than all. Our stars are in heaven. 7 stars humble and sheen and all together. And we are called as it were, godliness. I'm going to say godliness. Godliness. That was it said. We change our place altogether, and together we live sometime in Lydia, sometime in Olympus, and sometimes in a great mountain. So when they tell you about these mythological people, that's what they're talking about. And they tell you where they was at, Mount Olympus, Mount Lydia, and sometimes in great mountains. They tell you. Solomon, Lord God blessed Solomon to go through all that trouble, all that he went through. It was so that we could have it at this time. Just like he let the 12 brothers go through all that, let the Satan do that, so we can have it at this time. Just like he let Adam go through all that. It's a reason and purpose for everything under the sun to culminate for this day. That's all I can tell you. So I saw him question them one by one, being with the first, going down to the seventh. The first say, I am deception, I deceive, and weave snares here and there. I wet and incite heresies, but I have an angel that frustrate me Lemont shall hail Lael. Lemont shall hail Lael. So they would say, no, I'm not proud. I probably could pronounce it better, but I'm not from that country or not from that time. And they probably could pronounce it better than I can. Likewise, the second say, I am strife, strife for strife. I bring timber, stone, hanger, my weapons on the spot. But I have an angel that frustrate me, Barak Ahel. Barak Ahel. So that's, I read that to you in, I read that, I just finished reading that to you in one of my other videos. That's found in the book of Enoch, that demon there, who teach you how to ever pick up a weapon on the spot. All right, now, so let's see what we got. Let me see what we got, because I want you to know this thing. All right, here we go. Beelzebub. Now, every time you see from now on, when I tell you who Beelzebub is, when you see him, you're going to say Beelzebub, just like all the other demons. But just listen. I was standing upstairs looking down in my basement. It was a dream. On the dream, or I don't know why I was in the spirit, out of spirit, but I was looking down on the basement or in the room downstairs like a basement. You know how you be on the top stairs and you're looking down in your basement or something. You know how that goes. On the top of the stairs, I was someone, and I knew Satan and the devil was downstairs. I was with someone, and I knew Satan and the devil was downstairs. As I was on the steps, I had some type of board, small 8x8 board. This is a small 8x8 little board. I said, want to go down there and see. I go down there to see. I have we. I go down there by myself. I couldn't see him, but I knew he was there. So I went down there by myself. And I couldn't see him, but I knew there was. So I started demanding him to come out and appear to me. And more loud and more demand, I demand him in Jesus' name, and he appeared unto me. I said, I demand you in Jesus' name. And then he appeared unto me. But appeared unto us because I had somebody was with me. He was between the refrigerator, like I said, and he was at least 6'3" or 6'4" high. And his horns, he had horns, and his horns was curved in the front, just like that, and curved, just like you see Hellboy, as they call him, Hellboy, or whoever that is. So that's how his horns look. And he was naked, and he was red. Oh yeah. And something like Hellboy. My brother was sitting down at the table, and I woke up. And my brother was sitting down at the table, and I woke up. So that's how you look. But his horns are more straighter and more curved than Hellboy. So when you see that, that's Beelzebub. So every time you see that, from now on, you're going to say Beelzebub. Because once I saw that, so now every time I look at regular rock, rock enough, whatever they call, or see Hellboy, I say Beelzebub, because I know who he is. All I can do is just tell you, I thank God for letting me see these things. Oh yes, oh yes, oh yes, I do. I thank him, and I praise and bless him to let me know that these things are real. It's not somebody just telling me some fable or something. So did. All right. Let me see how much time I have. Cause time go by fast. Oh, 5 minutes. But I'm gonna make that. This a whole series. Just here, cause you need to know this. You got to know this. Likewise, called for. All right. I said I have an angel that frustrates me. Maramoth. Marmaroth. That's the angel that put it. Likewise, also the fourth said, I cause men to forget their sobriety and their moderation. Now, that's the demon that attacked Judah. This is the demon that attacked Judah. And I poured them and split them into parties, for strife and follows me hand in hand. And I rend the husband from the sharer of his bed, and children from the parents, and brothers from the sister. But why tell But why tell so much to my, what did it say? To why why tell so much to my despite? Despite. I have an angel that frustrates me, the great um, Barthael, Barthael, the great Barthael. Okay. Likewise, also the fifth say, I am power. By my power I raise up tyrants and tear down kings. To all rebels I furnish power. To all rebels I furnish power. I have an angel that frustrates me, Astaroth. So that's a common, you have them all over everything, Astaroth. So that's the fifth. The sixth said to him, I am arrow, O King Solomon, and I'll make thee. Now this is very important. This one here, this one here is very, very important. Likewise, also the sixth day, I am arrow, King Solomon, and I'll make thee to err as I have before made the error when I caused thee to slay thy own brother. And I'll lead you into error, so to pry into grave and to teach them that dig. And I led errant souls away from all piety, and many other evil traits are mine. But I have an angel that frustrates me, Uriel. Told. And say, I will lead you into error so as to pry into graves, and I will teach them to dig and lead errant souls away from all piety. So that we told. See, I'll, he said, I'll make thee the error as I have done before, and he did. And that's what them Jews are serving right now. Those fallen demons, but they've been serving them. You just gotta know. A lot of people don't know what a Jew is. A lot of people don't know, and that's where they have it. And a lot of people don't know what these fallen angels, who these fallen angels are, and have them once again. So once you know who these fallen angels are, but you got to understand, Jesus, the Lord, our angels beat them all. When you talk about those angels, we say we frustrate them. The Lord God beats them all. They all run. When I say Lord, when I say Jesus, all of them got to go. Oh yeah, all of them go. They disappear. All the angels who be around me and coming to me, because they come. Oh yeah, if I just slip a little bit, if I just be off of God a little bit, next thing you know, here come an angel. If I think that I'm not going the right way, here come one of those demons. Here they come, and they love. You can understand what they say when they told Peter, Satan wished to swift you like wheat. And that's true. And that's what he wants to do it all. That's why you think we're in captivity. Why you think one of the reasons why we're in captivity and have a hard time at it. I can just tell you, and that was Solomon's tell you, because a lot of people, marriages, their children, and you wonder why all that's because they have a demon. And likewise, therefore, I'll cause men to forget their sobriety and moderation. I part and split them into parties to start following after me in hand. So when you see those, what they call them, cliques and all that thing, and I rent the husband from the share of his bed, and children from their parents, and brother from his sister. But why I tell you this to my despite? And that's what's going to happen again. Yeah, see that Bird Box movie? A lot of people don't understand that movie. And Lord God had done that before, and that's going to happen again. And people say, no. Yes, that's going to happen again. I'm going to show it to you. I'm going to read it to you. I mean, man, God, I didn't. Once you get away from them preachers and them pastors telling you things and go seek it out for yourself, you're going to know. You're going to know and say, man, why this is? Where did this come from? All right. This, I ain't going to tell you about that. I'm going to tell you. And so, all right. Nope, not that. I'll read it to you. Just give me a second. I'm find it and read it to you. All right. Okay, wait. I'm going to find it. I'm going to find it for you. No, you want me to find. I know you want me to find. Okay. All right. Let's see. All right. I see what was spoken of concerning the sons of man. And oh man, oh man. Okay, and still the sons of men did not turn in law greatly against them. Oh, okay. Now the Lord walked against them, continued to destroy our freedom. Those days that there was. So no, nope, that's not it. Not it. I'm gonna find. Just give me a minute. The reason why I'm keep talking because I don't want this stuff. I don't want this to be blatant, and people think, well, it's going off, and it's not going off. Not going off. It is not. So I really want you to know that Lord God, this just happened. Oh, okay, I'm just trying. Well, uh, man, I'm just okay. I can't find it right now. It's lost in translation, as they say. It's lost in translation, but God did it. He did it. He did it. He did it. God did it. And that was the one of the destructions. That was one of the destructions. He turned them against each other. Okay, well I can't find it right now. Then it's almost time. What it is? It's time right now. So in the next video, I'm gonna find that for you, and we're gonna look at that destruction with Lord God turned man against man. And this is not by might nor by power, but by my spirit, say the Lord of hosts. And I'm Elijah, and I'm gonna make another video. This is a series. This might have about 6 videos to this. Might have 6, but you don't have to. What is so good about this, and what how the Lord then bless me for to bless you, is that I know where it's to be found at, and go read it. And stop listening to them preachers that, oh, don't go read it. Yes, when I read this here, uh, um, spirits was opened up to, but spirits, dark spirits was already opened up to me. I didn't know where they was coming and who they are, what they were, and where they're coming from until I read this book. I didn't know why every time I started a relationship or something, it wouldn't work. Or my children or somebody would go against, just like he said, everything he said, that's the way it is, and that's the way it happened. And so I'm just trying to tell and explain to you why you're in the situation now. And you don't keep on going along and breathe. Oh, I don't read nothing but the Bible. Okay, well, keep drawing to that milk and not getting away from it and eating meat, and you see what's going to happen. Not by might nor by power, but by my spirit, see the Lord of hosts. And I'm Elijah, and we'll see you next time. You see me.